Whether you're a tech enthusiast, industry professional, or just curious about the future of AI Agents Unleashed will keep you informed and inspired. Buckle up and get ready to unleash the potential of AI.
Okay, so get this right. AI design computer chips, like way better than humans can, and generating videos of things that never even happened.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing. So buckle up. Today, we're diving into all that, the absolute bleeding edge of AI research, and we're going straight to the source.
Okay.
We've got a whole stack of research papers, and they're hot off the press, literally just published today, December 30th, 2024, from arXiv.org.
Wow, you really, you weren't kidding about throwing me into the deep end here.
Yeah.
These papers cover a crazy range of, like, AI applications.
I know, right? It's like a whole buffet of AI brain food.
Yeah.
We've got everything from how those large language models, or LLMs, learn from us, all the way to AI designing fantasy sports teams. Like,
It's quite a collection.
it is. So our mission today is to unearth the most exciting discoveries, see if there are any like weird connections between these different fields, see the big picture,
Right.
and hopefully leave you with some head scratchers about the future of AI.
Sounds like a plan. Let's jump in.
Perfect. So LLMs.
Yeah.
Seems like they're the talk of the town these days.
They are.
Several of these papers are all about, making them even smarter, supercharging them.
Right.
One that really stood out to me was titled Sloth: Scaling Laws for LLM Skills to Predict Multi-Benchmark Performance Across Families.
Yes, sloth.
Yeah.
That one's tackling a big challenge in the field. How do you predict how well an LLM will perform on, like, a whole bunch of different tasks? Right?
Yeah.
It's a big question.
It is. So instead of training separate models for each task, which would be like incredibly time consuming and resource intensive, they're looking at these things called scaling laws, right?
Right.
But what exactly are those?
So think of scaling laws as like cheat codes for AI performance. Instead of grinding through, all that training for every single task, researchers are really trying to find these underlying patterns or laws that dictate how model performance scales with factors like data size or compute power or model architecture.
Okay.
In this case, they're focusing on skills, right? So like reasoning, instruction following as these fundamental units of performance.
So it's like figuring out the core attributes of like an athlete, right?
Sure.
Their strength, their speed, their agility.
Yeah.
And then using those to predict how they perform in different sports like basketball, track and field, or even like competitive eating, right?
Yeah.
Rather than making them train for each sport from scratch.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
If they can crack this code, it could be a real game changer. It would mean we could get so much more mileage out of these LLMs without all that insane computational overhead.
That makes sense. Now, another paper that I thought was super interesting is Ka-Agent, a visual language model for GUI agents. Basically, it's about teaching LLMs to understand and interact with the computer screens we use every day, GUIs.
Right. Now, that's where things start to feel like they're straight out of a sci-fi movie. I mean, think about it, right?
Yeah.
What if your AI assistant could not only write your emails, but it could also navigate websites or fill out those annoying online forms or even control like apps on your computer?
It's amazing, but also kind of terrifying at the same time. It makes you wonder, at what point will AI be better at navigating the digital world than we are?
That's a great question.
Will we become the ones needing tech support from our AI assistants?
It's a thought-provoking question for sure.
Yeah.
And one that researchers are definitely grappling with.
Right.
Which leads us to another paper that you sent, Blessing or Curse, a survey on the impact of generative AI on fake news. And this one dives into the potential for LLMs to be used for generating incredibly convincing fake news. And that's a bit unnerving.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's so fascinating about this technology. It really is a double-edged sword.
It is.
On the one hand, AI could be a powerful tool for spotting fake news, but it can also be the tool that makes creating, even more sophisticated fakes possible.
Exactly. It's a reminder that as we push the boundaries of what AI can do, we also need to think about the ethical implications, right?
Sure.
And the potential for misuse. We don't want to end up in a world where where we can't even tell what's real anymore.
Absolutely. Okay, let's zoom out for a sec and look at the bigger picture of generative AI, not just LLMs.
Okay.
So generative AI, in a nutshell, is all about AI systems that can create new content, right?
All right.
Be it text, images, music, or even video. And these papers are showcasing some truly mind-bending applications in this realm. One that just absolutely floored me is generative face parsing map-guided 3D face reconstruction under occluded scenes. Okay, you ready for this? They can now reconstruct a super realistic 3D face from just a blurry or partially hidden image.
I mean, think about what this means, right? For
Yeah.
security, entertainment, virtual reality. It could completely change how we interact with the digital world.
And then we have generative video propagation, which allows for hyper-realistic editing of existing videos. It's like they've invented Photoshop, but for video, but on steroids.
Yeah, imagine being able to seamlessly insert new objects or people into existing footage or erase unwanted elements. The possibilities for filmmaking or advertising and content creation are limitless.
It's both exciting and a bit daunting to think about the implication.
It is.
And this isn't just about flashy entertainment applications. Another paper, Subject Drive. Scaling generative data in autonomous driving via subject control demonstrates how generative AI is changing the game for self-driving car development.
So they're using generative AI to create massive data sets with labeled information for training those self-driving systems.
Okay.
And this is a really big deal because it allows for much more comprehensive and reliable testing in virtual environments, right?
Right.
Before these cars ever hit the road.
So it's like giving those self-driving systems a crash course in every imaginable driving scenario, but without the actual crashes, right? Talk about safety first.
Yeah, exactly. It's truly remarkable. And what strikes me is that these papers really highlight how AI is infiltrating practically every field you can think of.
It's like AI is the new electricity. It's powering innovation and disruption across the board.
It is.
And we see it in urban planning with the paper Geospatial Data Fusion, combining LiDAR, SAR, and optical imagery with AI for enhanced urban mapping, which is basically using AI to give our cities a high-tech makeover.
So they're combining different types of imagery like LiDAR and SAR and optical to create these ridiculously detailed maps. And these maps can be used for everything from managing infrastructure to responding to disasters to even optimizing traffic flow.
It's like giving city planners superpowers.
Yeah.
And then there's Maitri, multi-input transformer ecoregion encoder for species distribution modeling, which uses satellite imagery to track species distribution and understand how climate change is impacting biodiversity.
Right.
So I've got AI tackling urban sprawl, protecting endangered species, even reconstructing faces from blurry images. What else have you got for me?
How about AI that helps you dominate your fantasy sports league?
Okay, now you're talking.
So the paper, optimizing fantasy sports team selection with deep reinforcement learning, is all about that.
Deep reinforcement learning, that sounds intense. Is that like having a supercomputer as your fantasy sports coach?
It's pretty close. Essentially, it's an AI system that learns from past performance data to make strategic decisions and improve your team's chances of winning. It analyzes player stats, considers all the different variables, and then gives you data-driven recommendations for your dream team.
I mean, even for someone who doesn't follow fantasy sports, that's seriously impressive.
Yeah.
It just shows how AI is popping up in the most unexpected places.
It does make you wonder, what's next? What other fields will AI shake up in the years to come?
One thing's for sure. It's an exhilarating time to be watching the AI revolution unfold.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But amidst all the excitement, it's crucial to remember that these advancements have a human element at their core, right? We need to think about how these technologies impact our lives, both the good and the potentially not so good.
Right.
And you've included a couple of papers that really delve into that human element.
Yeah, you're right. As AI becomes more powerful and autonomous, we need to make sure that it's working with us, not against us, right?
Right.
And I think the value of AI advice, personalized and value-maximizing AI advisors are necessary to reliably benefit experts and organizations really gets to the heart of that.
It's not enough for AI to just spit out advice.
Yeah.
It needs to be personalized and relevant and genuinely helpful for humans making important decisions.
Right.
So this paper explores what makes AI guidance truly valuable for both experts and organizations.
And then there's preemptive detection and correction of misaligned actions in LLM agents, which is all about making sure AI doesn't go rogue, right, and act against our intentions.
Yeah, that's a critical concern. As these AI agents become more sophisticated, we need to make sure that they remain aligned with human values and objectives, right?
Right.
So this paper dives into ways to detect and correct AI actions that veer off course, ensuring that these systems stay on track and don't accidentally cause harm.
It seems like a common thread running through these papers is that while the pace of AI advancement is like mind-blowing, researchers are also like keenly aware of the potential pitfalls and are actively trying to address them.
Yeah, that's an insightful observation. Responsible AI development requires a careful and deliberate approach, balancing the potential benefits with the potential risks. It's not a set it and forget it situation.
Right. Before we move on to the next batch of papers, I'm curious, as you were going through all these studies, did any like big picture trends jump out at you? Like what's really shaping the AI landscape right now?
One thing that's really striking is the increasing integration of different AI techniques. It's not just about advancements in specific areas, but about finding ways to weave those advancements together to create more powerful and versatile AI systems.
So it's like AI is becoming a symphony where different instruments, or in this case, techniques, come together to create a richer and more complex sound.
Exactly, and that convergence is fueling some truly remarkable breakthroughs. We're seeing AI being applied in more diverse fields than ever before: drug discovery, personalized medicine, material science, climate modeling. It's really mind-boggling.
It's becoming clear that the future of AI is bright, but it's also incredibly complex and full of challenges.
It is.
As we continue to explore this frontier, we need to engage in thoughtful and informed discussions about the ethical, social, and economic implications of these technologies.
I couldn't agree more. The responsible development and use of AI require a collaborative effort from researchers, policymakers, industry leaders, and everyday citizens like you. It's a conversation we all need to be a part of.
Well said. Now, I'm eager to hear more about some of the specific application that you've uncovered in these papers.
Okay.
What other fascinating examples are in store for us?
In the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore how AI is being used for medical diagnosis, dive into advancements in communication and translation, and even touch on how AI is changing the game in cybersecurity.
That sounds absolutely fascinating. I can't wait.
So let's shift gears now and dive into the world of healthcare, where AI is making some serious waves. One paper that caught my eye is MDD5K, a new diagnostic conversation data set for mental disorders synthesized via neurosymbolic LLM agents.
Okay.
And it's about using AI to assist in diagnosing mental health conditions.
Wow.
By analyzing conversations between doctors and patients.
That's incredible. It seems like we're getting closer and closer to like that sci-fi future where you can just like tell your AI doctor what's wrong and they'll give you a diagnosis.
Right.
But how does it actually work?
So they've created this massive data set of simulated conversations using get this neurosymbolic LLM agents.
Neurosymbolic. Okay, you're gonna have to break that down for me. What's that all about?
So it's like a hybrid approach to AI.
Yeah.
Right. Combining the learning capabilities of neural networks with the logical reasoning of symbolic AI.
Mm-hmm.
So they're using these special AI agents to generate conversations that mimic real-life interactions between doctors and patients, complete with diagnoses and treatment recommendations.
So they're training AI to like understand the subtleties of human conversation in a medical context.
Right.
That's mind-blowing.
It is, and it has the potential to be a real game changer for mental health care. I mean, imagine, right?
Yeah.
A world where AI can help address the shortage of mental health professionals, or provide valuable training data, or even personalized treatment plans.
I mean, that could be revolutionary, especially for folks who, might not have easy access to mental health services.
Yeah,
It's amazing to see how AI is being applied to such like sensitive and important areas of healthcare.
absolutely. And while we're on the topic of importance, we
Yeah.
can't overlook the issue of AI safety, right?
Right.
Several of these research papers address this head on.
Yeah, you're right. As AI becomes more integrated into our lives, ensuring its safety and reliability is critical. What are some of the key approaches researchers are taking to tackle this?
Well, one area of focus is developing more robust methods for detecting and correcting AI actions that might go against human intentions.
Okay.
So the paper Preemptive Detection and Correction of Misaligned Actions in LLM Agents dives into this very topic.
So it's like building in safeguards, right? To prevent AI from like going off script and doing something unintended or potentially harmful. Can you give me a real world example of how that might work?
Sure. So imagine you have an AI assistant managing your finances, right?
Okay.
And you ask it to transfer some money to a specific account.
Right.
But what if it misunderstands your instructions and accidentally transfers a much larger amount?
Oh no, that would be a nightmare.
Exactly. So researchers are working on mechanisms to detect these kinds of misalignments before they lead to negative consequences, either by correcting the AI's actions or alerting you, so you can intervene.
It's like having a safety net for AI, making sure it stays within the boundaries we've set. What other strategies are researchers exploring to ensure AI safety?
Well, another crucial area is evaluating the robustness of AI systems, particularly in real world scenarios where they might encounter unexpected situations or even deliberate attempts to throw them off course.
So it's about making sure AI can handle the curveballs life throws at it without like completely falling apart.
Exactly. A great example of this is the paper Robustness Evaluation of Offline Reinforcement Learning for Robot Control Against Action Perturbations. So they're testing how well AI algorithms for robot control hold up when faced with unexpected disturbances or even intentional attempts to mess with their behavior.
So they're basically trying to like break the AI to see how it handles pressure. Why is this particularly important for robot control?
Well, think about robots operating in real world environments.
Right.
They encounter all sorts of unpredictable events.
Right.
Changes in terrain, obstacles in their path, even unexpected human behavior.
Yeah.
And if the AI controlling them isn't robust enough to handle these variations, it could lead to accidents or malfunctions.
That makes a lot of sense. We need AI systems that not only like work well in controlled lab settings, but can also adapt and respond intelligently in the messy, unpredictable real world.
Precisely. And that's why evaluating robustness is so important. It helps us identify potential weaknesses in AI systems and develop more reliable and trustworthy solutions.
Speaking of trustworthiness, there's another big challenge with these powerful AI models. They can be incredibly resource intensive to train and run. That computational cost can be a major bottleneck.
You're absolutely right. And that's where research on optimizing AI training and inference comes in. Several papers in the stack address this very challenge.
The one that caught my attention is gradient weight normalized low rank projection for efficient LLM training. It seems to be tackling the issue of memory efficiency during LLM training, which can be a huge resource hog.
That's right. They developed a new method called grad norm LORB, which uses a combination of techniques to reduce memory usage during training without sacrificing accuracy.
Okay, can you explain that in a way that doesn't require a PhD in computer science?
Sure. Basically, they're finding clever ways to compress the massive amounts of information needed to train these large language models. It's like packing for a trip and finding ways to fit everything you need into a smaller suitcase.
So they're making it possible to train powerful AI models on less powerful hardware.
Exactly.
That could open up AI development to a much wider range of researchers and developers.
Exactly. Democratizing access to AI technology is crucial for fostering innovation and ensuring its benefits are widely available.
And speaking of wider access, there's another paper, Dovetail, a CPU heterogeneous speculative decoding for LLM inference that's focused on making LLM inference, the process of actually using the trained model more efficient on a wider range of hardware.
Right. They're taking a new approach by making better use of both CPUs and GPUs during inference. Most current methods rely heavily on GPUs, which can be a limitation for users without high-end graphics cards.
So they're finding ways to spread the computational workload more effectively, allowing people with more like modest hardware to run these powerful language models.
Precisely. This opens up a world of possibilities for deploying LLMs on everything from smartphones and laptops to embedded systems and even robots.
Wow.
It's about making this technology more accessible and versatile.
You mentioned earlier that researchers are increasingly exploring ways to combine different AI techniques.
Right.
Are there any examples of that in this batch of papers?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One that stands out is AI Flow, which proposes a framework for distributing AI intelligence across networks. It's a fascinating concept that leverages the diverse resources available across devices, edge nodes, and cloud servers to make AI more accessible and efficient.
So instead of running everything on a single powerful device, they're finding ways to break down the AI processing into smaller chunks that can be distributed across a network of devices.
Right.
It's like teamwork for AI.
That's a great analogy. And this distributed approach could be revolutionary for applications that demand real-time responses like self-driving cars or robotics or even personalized healthcare.
It sounds like the future of AI isn't just about building bigger and more powerful models, but also about finding smarter and more efficient ways to deploy those models across a variety of platforms and devices.
You've hit the nail on the head. That's what makes this field so dynamic and exciting. The possibilities are truly endless.
Okay, let's shift our focus now to another fascinating area of AI research, natural language processing, or NLP for short.
So NLP is all about enabling computers to understand, interpret, and even generate human language.
Right.
And we're seeing some incredible progress in this area, particularly with the development of increasingly sophisticated LLMs.
One paper that caught my eye is improving LLM abilities in idiomatic translation. It seems to be tackling a long-standing challenge in machine translation, accurately translating those tricky idiomatic expressions that often rely on cultural context and figurative language.
You're right. It's a tough nut to crack. Traditional machine translation systems often stumble over idioms because they translate words literally without grasping the intended meaning.
Right.
But LLMs, with their vast knowledge base and ability to learn patterns in language, are showing real promise in this area.
So they're teaching AI to understand not just the dictionary definition of words, but also the subtle nuances and cultural references that give idioms their true meaning.
Precisely. This has huge implications for cross-cultural communication. I mean, imagine a world where AI can help us understand each other's languages and cultures more deeply, bridging those communication gaps and fostering greater empathy and understanding.
That's a beautiful vision. Are there any other papers that delve into these challenges of language and communication?
Yes. One that stood out to me is can ChatGPT capture swearing nuances? Evidence from translating Arabic oaths. It's a fascinating study that explores the limitations of current LLMs in translating culturally specific expressions, particularly those related to swearing and religious oaths.
So they're pushing the boundaries of AI's understanding of language by challenging it with some of the most complex and nuanced aspects of human communication. It's like giving AI a crash course in cultural sensitivity.
Exactly. And while the study shows that there's still room for improvement, it highlights the ongoing progress in developing AI systems that can truly grasp the full richness and complexity of human language with all its quirks and cultural variations.
It seems like we've covered a remarkable amount of ground in this deep dive. AI, safety, efficiency, healthcare, language processing, the future of transportation. It's mind-boggling. Is there anything we haven't touched on yet?
Actually, there are still a few intriguing papers up our sleeve.
Okay.
In the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore how AI is being used to optimize the design of computer chips, dive into the world of AI-powered cybersecurity, and even touch on the fascinating intersection of AI and art.
Now that sounds like something I don't want to miss. I'm on the edge of my seat to hear what else these brilliant minds are up to in the ever-evolving world of AI. Welcome back. I'm still trying to wrap my head around all those amazing advancements we talked about. Self-driving cars, personalized medicine, those AI-powered cities.
Yeah.
It seems like AI is changing, well, everything.
And we're not done yet. We still have some pretty fascinating papers to uncover. Let's start by diving into the world of chip design.
Okay.
I know you're a bit of a tech enthusiast, so this one might pique your interest.
Absolutely. I'm all ears. How's AI impacting the world of computer chips?
Well, this paper, RLMUL 2.0, is multiplier design optimization with parallel deep reinforcement learning and space reduction, really caught my eye.
Yeah.
Researchers are using deep reinforcement learning to optimize the design of multipliers, which are essential components of computer chips.
So they're essentially letting AI figure out how to build faster, more efficient chips than humans can.
Right.
That's incredible.
It really highlights AI's ability to tackle these complex optimization problems that would be incredibly challenging for humans to solve manually.
Yeah.
And the implications are huge.
Yeah.
Imagine, right, computer chips that are not only faster and more energy efficient, but also more adaptable and maybe even self-healing.
I mean, that would revolutionize computing as we know it.
It really would, and it shows how AI is influencing every layer of technology, from the software to the hardware that powers our digital world.
Right.
Speaking of critical domains, let's talk about cybersecurity.
Yeah, AI's role in cybersecurity seems more important than ever, given the increasingly sophisticated threats out there. One paper, on the offensive potential of AI, caught my eye. It sounds a bit ominous. What's the key takeaway?
Well, it's a pretty comprehensive analysis of how AI could be used for malicious purposes. The authors explore a range of potential threats, from AI-powered phishing attacks and malware to disinformation campaigns and even sabotage.
So AI is a double-edged sword, right? It can be a powerful tool for defense,
Right.
but it can also be exploited by bad actors to create more sophisticated and harder to detect threats.
Unfortunately, that's the reality we face.
Yeah.
And it underscores the need for a multi-pronged approach to AI security. We need robust defenses, ongoing research to anticipate emerging threats, and international collaboration to address the global nature of cybercrime.
Yeah, it's a complex challenge, but AI security is paramount in our interconnected world. Okay, let's end our deep dive on a lighter note. You mentioned something about AI and art. I'm intrigued.
Yes, zero-shot text-guided infinite image synthesis with LLM guidance really stood out to me. Researchers have developed a method for generating infinite images based on text prompts.
Infinite images. That sounds like something straight out of science fiction. How does that even work?
Well, they're using LLMs to guide the image generation process.
Okay.
So you can describe a scene or object using natural language.
Right.
And the AI creates an image that matches that description.
Right.
But here's the kicker. It can keep expanding that image instantly in any direction.
So it's like having an AI artist that never runs out of canvas.
Yeah.
That opens up amazing possibilities for creative expression.
It does. It shows how AI can not only amplify human creativity, but also unlock entirely new forms of artistic expression.
Yeah.
So it's a fascinating time to be exploring the intersection of art and technology.
Wow. This deep dive has been an incredible journey. We've explored the frontiers of AI research, covering everything from self-driving cars and personalized medicine to chip design, cybersecurity, and even AI-generated art.
It's clear that AI is transforming our world at an unprecedented pace, and the innovations they just keep coming.
As we wrap up, I'm filled with a mix of excitement and I have to admit a bit of apprehension. The potential benefits of AI are huge, but we need to be mindful of the potential risks as well.
I agree. It's crucial that we approach AI development and use with careful consideration, making sure these powerful technologies are used for good and their benefits are shared broadly.
Well said. And to you listening, if anything we've discussed today sparks your curiosity, I encourage you to dig deeper into the research.
Yeah.
There's a wealth of information out there, and it's more accessible than ever before. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep asking those big questions about the future we're building with AI.
That's right. It's a future we're all shaping together.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the cutting edge of AI research. Until next time, stay curious.
Okay.